Welcome back, COH fans, to the third game of this series, best of 5, between Lollipop and Contador. Sorry, what am I saying? Lollipop and Damn Evil Vicious Mouse. I'm not sure why I said Contador there. Last two games were pretty much short but sweet, pretty destructive. 33 kills on a Vet 3 rifle with, like, I don't know, barely 15 minutes into that game was just absolute madness. I mean, what did you think, Tommy?
Sorry about that. It's just not a very sustainable strategy unless you can cut your opponent off really fast. You need to win big or go home with forward HQ starts, really. Obviously, even Vet 3 Grens are nothing to a Vet 3 rifle.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it works better on Angerville since, it's South Anger anyway, since the house is so close to their cutoff that you can just put so much pressure. But Sebois, I'm still not convinced FHQ is the way to go, especially since in that holiday tournament Seb absolutely destroyed Chains using that exact same strategy, so yeah, I'm far from convinced. But either way, Lollipop is 2-0 down. This is where a lot of people break, especially in best of 5s, they have to win 3 games in a row to even stay in this thing, so I don't know, do you think Lollipop's nervous, or what do you think's going on in his head right now?
I think nerves are definitely showing through, especially with that last game. Really, really bizarre. I mean, okay, if you want to do forward HQ, fine. But he was missing 2 very key things, I think. One of them was a med bunker, and the other one was, why in that building? That building sucks.
Yeah, usually it's the strap points. You can get up a lot faster, the Volks are out faster, you can just get the chain going. But either way, we're going to have to see how Game 3 plays out, so I'll be following DevM again from his Vermucht, and if we're all ready at the 5-second mark, I'll be unpausing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it looks like another standard start by DevM with Vermucht quarters and 2 pioneers in the south.
Up in the north we have another 3 engineer start. This is weird, this patch people are doing all kinds of crazy things with engineers. It used to be just 2 engineer, 4 rifles, and now it's 4 rifles, and in this game it's 3 engineers, sorry. 3 engineers.
Well, I mean, I reckon the engineers, I mean, they don't have as much upkeep, like nowhere near compared to the rifles. I mean, 4 rifles is so expensive to have in manpower, whereas, if you have good early capping power and then you secure your mid-game tech with more engineers and less rifles, I can see why it's so popular. I mean, I like doing 4S racks just because I've been doing it for so long, but it pays off doing multiple engineer starts, it seems like. Against PE as well, 2 engineers is really risky to go. You can just get overwhelmed so easily by the Panzer Grenadiers on your cutoff. So, but it's nice to see that, someone like DevM is using it quite well, and Lolly is using it as well too, so the more popular it gets, the more it can get refined as an official strategy, and, we never see some new build orders getting thrown in the mix, you never know.
Definitely, I mean, some people are calling COH a stale game by this point, but I think it's far from it. I mean, the game may be, nearing 6 years old, but, I mean, there's still new strats coming out, and people still sort of innovating all the time, and I think that's really, really great.
And, we see Devon with a very aggressive machine gun. Usually, the first rifle usually goes to cap there, and they get a nasty surprise with that machine gun, so, he sees nothing's there, so, he heads off to the right-hand side of the map, and Lollipop's actually done. We can see the capping power actually really shining through. He's actually capped the 16 fuel and connected it on the right-hand side of DevM's side of the map, while he's actually securing the left-hand side as well.
Wow, that's pretty fast. I guess that's the power of multiple engineer starters. You can really get the fuel fast, especially on a map like Anger, where all the fuel is essentially in 2 points. I do love me a bit of MG bike though.
Yeah, MG Pipe was like the strategy to open up with in 2.601, and it's still really good, especially with the machine gun packing up a lot faster. These rifles though got a nasty surprise going into the middle of the map, and they have to get retreat. And Lollipop's also still harassing this Pioneer on the right hand side at the same time, preventing them from capping that 16 munitions. So I really like what Lollipop's doing, just spreading out, harassing all sorts of places on the map.
Yeah, I mean, we saw this quite well again in his Semwar game when he was playing as US. You know, he's really, really good at spreading out, harassing all points at once. What he didn't seem to be quite so good at, though, was really cracking the back of sort of the Axis defense.
And DevM is playing so aggressively with this machine gun, like the rifles are pinned almost in their base already.
He's using that bike really well, actually, yeah, because obviously, you know, if you suppress with the MG and then you get out of range, you can use the bike to keep them suppressed, and it's all just really nice. I mean, we could see a very, very early pin here, potentially.
It's also, we should also note that he's actually using the bike and not the Schwimmwagen in this game, so I wonder if the first game with the Schwimmwagen was a mistake, he just had the TOV unit on. It's just something that's intriguing.
Yeah, I didn't think of that, actually. Maybe it's a map choice thing. Maybe he thinks on this map you need to get out faster or cheaper or something. I don't know. These are the kind of sort of intricacies that a mere pleb like myself never understands.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to playstyles, really the only way to understand fully is just ask the player directly, like, why do you do this, and like, what's your reasoning behind it?
Yeah, I hope we get an opportunity at the end of this SNF season to ask some of the sort of the multiple winners why they made some of these choices. But we're seeing, yeah, really, really aggressive from DevM. You know, he's practically capped this entire right-hand side. He's going to grab that +10 for himself as well, the munis, and all that aggressive capping by Lollipop has sort of been put, you know, had a really hard stop put to it.
Yeah, I mean, DevM's machine gun micro is really top-notch. I mean, he scouts with the bike, finding all the possible flanking routes. I mean, look at it now, he sees the rifles in the base, and now he's coming down the south. He spots the rifle on the left-hand side as well, so he's like, okay, there's a flank coming up there, and he's now moving his machine gun. So, just impeccable support play by DevM.
Definitely. You know, every time the MG gets engaged, it's on the move again. Lollipop never knows where it's coming from. He has no Jeep or anything of his own, so he doesn't know where to expect things to come from. I mean, it's just incredible play. I don't think we can fault Lollipop so much as we can just say that DevM is playing extremely well.
We have a nice four-way flank coming in here, though, with bars popping at the same time, so this could be a good timing push.
This is really nice. He's got one rifle squad suppressed at the top. He's got another rifle down to 2 men. 1 man. He's might lose it here. It's going to get focus fired by the bike, I think. The bike's going to chase that 1-man rifle into his base, but he's not going to get him. What a lucky rifle.
And this goes to show how DevM is so good at holding up flanks. Just that four-way flank with flamers and bars, and then just holding this off as well is just crazy.
Yeah, he didn't break a sweat. I mean, you know, somehow, you know, he just managed to hold off incredible firepower there. And I don't know, personally, I don't like bars on this map. I prefer the M8, just because, you know, the amount of fuel, I find it can really entice a Vermont player to go for a fast tier 3. Plus, obviously, you know, one cutoff is all your resources gone. And I think that's what we're going to see now here.
Oh, that
wow.
flame engineer is down.
That was horrible. That was nasty to watch.
It's a devastating power of the machine gun on low health squads.
Definitely, he's sending in another low health engineer. He just popped flamers as well. He didn't lose it, but he got down very close.
Nice little bike push there as well. This machine gun pops medic pack, which makes it receive a lot more damage than usual, and he might lose it. But the Volk is standing right there to reman it as well. This Volk squad is really low health. Walks into a bar, so has to get the hell out of there.
Ooh,
so he's just going to buy time for this bunker.
Entirely. This is looking bad now for DevM. He's forced into a full retreat. The only unit he has left is that bike and the MG. The MG's bike's going to go down in a minute.
He needs the flamers to support though, but the flamer's still way back at his base, so he can't actually flush out this machine gun very quickly. He can still kill the machine gun inside a bunker, but it takes a hell of a long time just sitting there and shooting at it.
Yeah, those bunkers are pretty fucking hardy.
But he's also upgrading into a machine gun bunker as well.
We are losing ground.
So yeah, the machine gun goes down, but the machine gun upgrade is at 80%. So yeah, it's just gonna basically enforce this cutoff. 90%.
Two mines just went off simultaneously from Lollipop.
Can
Oh
he
my
get the
god,
cut?
that was horrible. He's gonna get it, which is it's important actually, because he's killed outright two MGs from DevM, meaning that he only has 2 fighting units, and that's those 2 Volks, and against, you know, bars, that's not a great position to be in at all.
True, but the tier 3 is on its way, so Lollipop has to put as much pressure as he possibly can before this Puma rolls out and starts putting him on the back foot. If he can secure some more fuel and get his AT ready, he'll be in a really good position in this game, but he has to put on as much pressure as possible and hold his own cutoff, because once this gets decapped, he will not get it back under this machine gun bunker fire.
I'd like to see demos actually researched from Lollipop. I think that would be quite useful for him at this point. You know, when you're facing virtually no tier 1 units and the main sort of thing preventing you from doing anything is an MG bunker. Bring the demolition charges.
Seems that Lollipop is going to go for the right-hand side with some engineers, but and this machine gun bunker is just going to be so annoying to break through. I mean, if you stand there shooting at it with flamers, it takes forever. If you mortar it, you have to back tech, and if you have to, well, like you said, if you want to use demo charges, you have to use, was it 30 fuel? So I'm not sure what his fuel situation
yeah, 30
is right
fuel,
now.
100 manpower.
Yeah, so, and with the Puma on its way right now as we speak, you know, I don't think he needs to get the supply up ASAP. I mean, there's nothing in his space going up for in terms of tech.
This is a crying shame, you know. He has 48 munitions, and he has 0 income. Even if he did research demo charges, he'd be 2 munitions short to actually place one.
Yeah, he'd have to cap some on the right-hand side, because there's no way this machine gun bunker is going to let him cap that strap point without pinning some rifles.
Let's attack our forward base.
He's now buying himself another rifle squad, so that'll bring him up to 4 rifles. But that's not what he needs right now. I mean, he's floating 100 fuel. He could build his motor pool, but the Puma's just hit the field now, so I don't know. He needs to pull off some pretty tricky shit with some mines or something.
Yeah, I mean, DevM's shown us that the amount of pressure you can put on by forcing you to make infantry and then following up with light armor with the Puma is just so devastating, because you either tech with the Puma and then you lose out on the infantry battle, or you fight the infantry and then the Puma destroys you. So, I mean, it's a lose-lose situation in this case.
Yeah, really, really nasty. He used bar suppression fire on that Volt squad. I don't think it was really necessary. All he has right now is bar fire to kill that Puma. He is actually doing a little bit of damage, but certainly not enough to actually kill it.
Oh, he's got in a stew now.
Oh no, this is pouring salt in the wound now.
Yeah, with only
He can
infantry.
quite happily base rush.
Americans are seizing
Yeah, I mean, the stew is crazy good at sniping buildings. I mean, it does an insane amount. Look at that! It just took off like 70% of that building. That just shows how good their damage bonus. I mean, they get some, like, I don't know, I'm pulling numbers out of the hat here, but it just seems like it's 500% extra damage bonus against buildings.
That is insane. That is no longer a building. That is like one wall with a roof.
Our forward supply lines are broken.
I'm just waiting for, you know, Cleveland to slide out of that building in his bathtub.
We're losing it.
It just seems like, you know, he could he calls in ranges as a soft counter, and I mean, you know, bazookas barely touch or even scratch the front armor of a stew. So I mean, this stew could literally just walk in and snipe the barracks, and then you'd have to make another tier 1 unit just to get supply upgrades.
Yeah, it's insane. The damage the stew does to base buildings is really, really crazy. The actual damage it does to infantry is really random. Like, sometimes it can land on top of a ranger squad and do nothing. Other times you can, you know, kill 3 rifles in 1 hit. It's really hit or miss. But I think in this case it's gonna sort of seal the deal for him.
Yeah, I mean, when a stew does hit, it hits hard. I mean, there are 2 rifles down in 1 shot. Like, there's nothing more cost efficient in the game that does it as the stew does. Oh, there we go, whole squad annihilated.
Oh my god! Oh god damn. He must be using attack ground, because obviously, yeah, I'm sure you know that little trick of sort of getting the most out of your stew is to use attack ground with it instead of letting it attack on its own, because I think you get better splash damage with it or something. Some weird glitch in the engine means you should always attack ground with a stew instead of just regular attack.
Another 4 rifles go down to the stew. Like, all the corpses are just there in that crater. Oh man, this is bad.
Oh my god, a Goliath just went off and killed the entire Ranger squad.
Suicide Goliath, oh my days. And the thing in 2
built
swift
it out of
moves,
the
he just
bunker
destroyed everything.
and just... Yeah, this is crazy. This is just like ownage on such a horrible, horrible scale.
So you have the stew that annihilates a rifle squad in 2 shots, almost annihilates another one with 1 guy left in the 3rd, and the Goliath just annihilates a ranger, just like that.
And now Devon's got a sniper, as he probably built that as a counter to the Rangers, but obviously he doesn't need that anymore.
Man, who needs snipers when you have stews that just 2-shot everything?
Yeah, he's going to do as he said. He's just going to kill the barracks now, and that's going to be it.
Yep, I think that's it. He's calling the GG, and DevM takes this series 3-0 in very, very convincing fashion. I don't think I've ever seen such a... I mean, I thought Korean Army versus Contador was quite a beating, but this, I think this takes the cake by a long shot.
Yeah, this was, this was just a series of absolute destruction. Just horrible. I think, maybe Lollipop had some nerves. He sort of got his game back in a bit of a better way in this game. Killing those 2 MGs was really nice. He had a sort of an okay early game, but then as soon as that pin set in, that bunker got built, he didn't seem to know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, DevM is COH expert for a reason. He knows his stuff, and he can beat anyone on any day, it looks like. Entity, let's have that Axis win video. So, that wraps it up for this contender bout. We have DevM qualifying through to face off against Siberian Platoon next week on for the $100 prize. So Siberian is going to be practicing a hell of a lot to take on someone as big as DevM. So it's going to be interesting. If DevM wins this title fight coming up, it's going to be $150 for him. But if Siberian wins, I think it's going to mount up to... was it $350 now? So, man, Siberian has won a lot of money winning all these title fights in a row.
Yeah, he's making some serious money out of this, but yeah, next week's game I think is going to be present us with some of the best games of this entire season of SNF. I mean, so far, we've seen some really good games. The early ones, Wu versus Seb, were really nice, but Siberian goes up against DevM. That's going to be a proper clash of the Titans.
Absolutely. So, yeah, this pretty much rounds up this week's contender bout. We'll see you guys next week on the title fight, so until then, we'll see you next time. Have fun.